Hey, this is Joey Lancaster with MotoTheNorthwest.com. Today on this how-to video, we're going to show you how we installed this X3 Leo Vince exhaust here on the 2013 Power Motorsports Kawasaki. We're going to do step-by-step from taking off your stock exhaust to putting on a new exhaust. Leo Vince sent us up a brand new X3 titanium can. They also use it's a stainless steel header, so it's a little more durable for all the riding that everybody's doing off-road motocross. It'll work in all those conditions, and it'll last a lot longer than a lot of the other exhausts out there. Anyhow, we're going to go through the bike. We're going to take off the stock exhaust. I'm going to give you a couple of tips on what you should and shouldn't do, and then also your bike and how you're going to install that. Some things to look for that could give you a problem in the future when you're riding, and some things that'll help keep that exhaust on your bike. So here we go, let's get into it. I'm going to use some T-handles here. We're going to dig into the side number plate here, and we're going to work from the back of the exhaust all the way up to the header pipe to take off your stock exhaust here. Another little quick tip, each bolt that you do take out, it's a little bit of extra time, but go ahead and take that bolt and put it back into that hole. And what that's going to do is not only you're not going to lose the bolt, you'll know exactly which bolt went where, but you're not going to put them on the ground and kick them off underneath your workbench or anything. So a little bit of extra time, but it'll save you in the long run. Alright, so we're going to start here on this back bolt here. One of the most important bolts of the entire exhaust system. You see a lot of guys that lose this bolt, and then your exhaust ends up falling down like the T-handle just did. Falling down onto the your rear brake and into the actual rear tire. So we'll come down to this guy here, loosen up the mid-pipe bolt here. And I wouldn't take this one all the way out because the stock exhaust system here has this collar over here. So we're going to come up here, and it's actually need to be a 12. Just loosening up this mid-pipe collar here onto the header, and then you want to make sure that guy's loosened up there, and then we'll move back to that main mid-pipe nut there and bring that one all the way out. Then the exhaust is going to fall down there. You'll be able to move to the back. And when you grab the can here, you want to make sure that you're not overstressing the head pipe here. You're going to grab it, move it back and forth, and it's going to pull right off the end there. Make sure that when you do grab it and pull it off there, you don't lose your collar. And then go ahead and take those bolts that you took out, the stock bolts. This is again not so you don't lose them. Usually your aftermarket exhaust is going to come with fasteners to hold it on there. Now your top one you're not going to be able to put in there, so you can put it on there. You could run some tape around it, and then this is ready to put in your van or any of your box or whatever you take to the track as your backup exhaust. You're going to start out loosening up one bolt here. Don't bring it all the way out. Move down to the other bolt, and then start loosening up that so you can be even all the way through. And then come back up to that top bolt. You don't want to overstress the collar there that holds it to your head. And then you're going to take those all the way out, and then it's going to slide off. And then there you are there. Depending on what bike you have, they could have an exhaust gasket there, so you want to make sure that that doesn't fall down, or if it does, grab it, because you're going to need to use that for the next exhaust if you didn't happen to get a new exhaust gasket there. But then that's off. Put this with your exhaust in your van, in your truck, in your box for the track, and that's your spare. Alright, so step number one, when you get your new exhaust, pull it out of the packaging. What you're going to want to do is stretch out everything that comes in the actual package. Look at each part, make sure you have all the correct toolage to use for each one of those. Also look at any of the manufacturers will put in some directions in there, maybe some tips on their particular product, this being the Leo Vince X3. So anyhow, we got it all laid out here. First thing I'm going to do, the head pipe. Each 4-stroke head pipe, depending on what model and manufacturer you're using, some of them will come with a little head pipe guard like this. Installing that, you want to make sure you use some Loctite, because you don't want this thing falling off halfway in your moto or getting stuck with your boot or anything like that. Okay, so this being the carbon fiber cover here, you have a couple of little thrust washers that go underneath that. Make sure you line up one side there, and then I'm going to move to the back, line that up, and then go ahead and tighten this one down here. I'm going to make sure that it centers itself on there. You don't want to over tighten one side down and cause it to crack. So once you feel it flatten out there, snug those guys up. Again, we use Loctite on there, so you don't need to over tighten them, because once that Loctite adheres to the bolt there, it'll keep her on there for as long as you want it. Alright, so we're going to take the new header here and bring it up to the front of the engine here. Now remember that if you have that exhaust gasket, now's the time that you're going to want to insert it into the front of the head, and then you're going to want to line it up and make sure that it squishes between the head pipe and the head here of the engine. So I've already got my exhaust gasket in there, so now I'm going to go ahead and push that header pipe up onto there, and then I'm going to go ahead and make sure that the flange of the header pipe lines up with the studs that come out. And then you're going to go ahead and take your nuts and put those on your T-handle or whatever you're using to put that on there, and then you're going to feed that up into the top and just get it started on the threads. Turn it in there just a little bit, then go ahead and grab your next nut there and start the one on the bottom. And you want to make sure that when you tighten these on, that you do just a couple of turns each, and then move up to the next one, a couple turns, move back down. And you don't want to tighten it all the way. We want to make sure to get the mid pipe and the rest of the exhaust mounted on, and make sure everything is lines up correctly before you tighten everything on. Then you're going to take the silencer and get that set up. Now remember, we put the head pipe on there. It's still a little bit loose, so we can make sure that all the fitment's correct. Now we're gonna come down, again grabbing the exhaust, and you're gonna push it through here, make sure that it lines up right there in the front. And then it's gonna slide right on right there, wiggle it back and forth. And then now is when you're gonna go back to your fasteners. You're gonna find out each exhaust usually will come with a new set of fasteners. So you're gonna, again, following the directions that the manufacturer has made, we're gonna put that bolt in there. Again, we're not gonna tighten it down, and then we're gonna move up to the back here. Now, Leo actually uses a carbon fiber strap here to mount the exhaust here to the frame. So we put the little piece there in the back. That's going to rotate forward, and then it comes with a new bolt here. So we're going to feed that through, get that lined up, and then we're going to put that in here. Some guys will use thread lock here on this. Some guys will drill a hole in the actual bolt and wire tie it on. Personally, it's one of the things that I check. It's part of my checklist when I run through the bike before I ride it, is checking that nut. So it depends on how much you want to work on your bike. It's one of the most important nuts though to check before you do some riding. So we're gonna not tighten that one all the way, and then what we want to do is go all the way to from the front of the exhaust to the back and tighten it from the front all the way to the back. So we're going to grab our T-wrench one more time. We're going to come up here, and again going from the top down to the bottom and just snugging it up. You're going to tighten it. Again, you can look at your owner's manual for all the correct torque specs. I'm going to go and get it snug there, and then I'm going to move from the front now to the back. And right here on the mid pipe, I'm going to snug this one up here, and then moving back to this top bolt, I'm going to snug that guy up there. Leo Vince has provided us with a spring here that connects the header and the mid pipe together. Other exhaust manufacturers will sometimes use them on the head pipe also, but we're going to go ahead and install this one on. They also give you a spring puller in the entire kit, full exhaust system. All right, so now we're going to grab the spring, come back here, and the first hook on the mid pipe is going to be kind of behind the frame here, so you're going to have to look underneath the bike here and get it to hook on there. Then you're going to go ahead and grab the spring puller that comes with the kit. You're going to go ahead and hook that around the spring, and then this spring is going to hook here to the spring hook on the header pipe. You're going to go ahead and grab that and then pull it back. It's going to snap right onto there, and then that's going to hold that header pipe and the mid pipe together. All right, there we go. We just finished installing the X3 Leo Vents full exhaust system here on the Power Kawasaki. Thanks for watching the MotoTheNorthwest.com how-to video, and we'll see you at the track.